Okay, today we're gonna have a serious gripe at the left. I know it's a pretty nebulous thing to say the left, but I think this really needs to be addressed to the left. Throughout the past, well, 3 to 4 years, the left in particular has paid absolutely no attention to local politics. And it's not just here in the UK. There are plenty of examples of like in America where the left just does not pay close attention to people getting on their school boards, for example. I know that's a big battle at the moment. The left has completely seems uninterested in trying to fight that battle in courthouses, local state elections, town elections. Same here for local councils and regional mayoral elections. The average turnout for local elections in this country, we've got one coming up in May, is around 30%. So think about that. The population of my town is about what, 26,000, something like that, I think it is. We've only got 30% of the people turning up to vote. And of course, when you break that down into like wards of like the different councillors and who people get there, they go down even more, you know, goes down even more. And local elections are really, really important. Local elections can help determine the shape and direction that your town can go in. And I always bring this up. The fantastic book, Paint Your Town Red, based on the Preston model of, again, of the town of Preston, where it decided to follow community wealth building schemes. These are socialist in nature and something that the left should be taking extreme close example of. Here in my own South Yorkshire, we have the only hub that is, again, set up, enabled, and funded by its own local government to help businesses set up their own cooperative businesses or help businesses transition to a worker co-op model. It's the only one that exists anywhere in the UK. And we've got a serious problem that if the Conservative guy gets in South Yorkshire, he has said, I'm going to get rid of it. And yet, you have people who continue to say, oh, I've left the Labour Party. They don't do anything anymore. Have you even paid attention to what goes on in your local town council meetings? Are you even aware of what they do? Do you live in South Yorkshire? And I've just told you that, and that's the first time you're even hearing of it. This is what happens at local levels, which is far easier to get into and to start really pushing some progressive policies at a local level. And yet, many people on the left just don't even seem to understand that basic concept. It is absolutely infuriating. I mean, how many of you people when was the last time you went to like a local council meeting? Do you even know what happened in your last local council meeting? Do you know what's on the agenda? Do you know what they're discussing? Do you know what problems they're trying to solve? No, a lot of people really don't. And that's sad. That is really sad that, again, the left, who seem to basically take this approach that democracy only seems to happen for them once every 4 years ago, every 4 years or so. And basically, if the Conservatives are in, it's bad. If Labour get in, so what? Unfortunately, again, don't get me wrong, there's certainly lots of criticisms you can take to Keir Starmer, and absolutely we have done it on this channel many times. But I'll tell you this now, I would far prefer Keir Starmer to be Prime Minister over Boris Johnson. But again, we're going now to the national government. We're talking about local government. That's where I want to fixate the conversation on, because people don't care. They don't seem to organize enough. For example, we've got these May elections coming up, right? The left, to really, really, really give Boris Johnson a really bloody nose. Remember what I just said just a few moments ago, that only roughly around 30% of a town's or city's population actually goes out and votes in local elections. Where are the campaigns to flip conservative councils to either, Lib Dem or even Labour or even Greens? I cannot put my finger on one. I cannot put my finger on one. And bear in mind, it takes groundwork. It takes that door knocking, the campaigning, the picking up the phone, sending emails, getting your local political party involved, whether they be the Labour, Lib, or Greens. There is not one. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what is so frustrating. The fact that we could have been, for the past 3 or 4 months, been, giving stuff to local campaigns and organizations, telling them, this is what you need to do. This is what you the script you need to do for door knocking. Pay attention to what, like, your, the local conservative councillors are saying as well. There's so much like people could have done for like these local elections, and there has just been absolutely no attention paid whatsoever at a local level. Now, I'm sure that maybe some people come up and say, oh, but what about this? And what about this? Well, first news I'm hearing of it. Now, of course, it's a local level, and of course, lots of stuff indeed happens at a local level. I mean, I've talked about local level stuff on my channel before, but admittedly, nobody watches it. I did stuff about the campaign about the new gyratory, and I think it got like 200 views. I can normally average maybe about 2,000 to 3,000 when I'm talking about, national stuff, which just goes to show you how little attention people pay to local politics. But it is important. It is so, so important. It really, really is. And I really hope that going forward, the left will pay more attention. And to those people who have, quote, left the Labour Party and cut up their, cards and whatnot, well, you're also abandoning, campaigns that we've had in South Yorkshire for here. Because the guy who wants to come in after Dan Jarvis, he wants to continue that worker cooperative building. He wants to create more local councils so that they have more of their spending is not spent outside of the region, but inside of the region, to help build up local businesses. He wants to build a cooperatively owned public transport network. And, I can go on and on and on, but by you saying, well, I'm not going to join the Labour Party, or I'm leaving the Labour Party, or I'm not going to vote for Labour, you leave people like that completely out on a limb. Completely out on a limb. All because you don't like Keir Starmer. Well, I'm sorry, Buttercup, but suck it up, because that's politics. Sometimes you get the people you agree with, sometimes you get people you half agree with, and sometimes you'll get people that you may or may not agree with at all. That's politics. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed my little frustration, shall we say, but it needs to be said. It always needs to be said. But yes, as always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. And please, 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 please pay attention at your local May elections and who you are voting for. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.